left, but as a 3-year-old she was very good when winning as a stable second or third string at least at Leopardstown. She backed it up with a very good win at Chester. Both of them wins have come on testing ground. However, her dam was a multiple winner on fast ground. Galileo would suggest she'd handle this quicker surface, and she should be a lot sharper for that run at Chester. Quite sluggish early on, it went very hard for the conditions, and the further she went the better she was. You love how strong she was at the line. Surely more improvement to come. The ground is the unknown, but I think she'll handle it.
Yeah, she's not quite as big as the stable companion, who's the Justified filly, Red Riding Hood. We'll pick her up shortly. We'll spin round to our left and pick up the Godolphin filly walking towards us. Now, interestingly enough, she went into a box to be saddled. Charlie Appleby picked up all the equipment and brought her out into the open. I've not seen him do that with any horses here at Epsom before, but he decided to do it with this filly, Eternal Hope, saddled her just in front of where we are here.
Yeah, if it's good enough for Edna Bryan, I suppose maybe there was a reason why she wasn't brought inside the stalls. And Red Hood on, they'll be taken off going to the start. She picked up really well to win at Lingfield, unproven on the grass as of yet, but a lot to like about that. Handled a sharp track and picked up stable companion of favourite Be Happy very well inside the final furlong.
So if we saw close enough there, just in behind the saddle cloth, I'm not overly enamoured with her coat, to be honest, in the flesh.
No.
Spin round to our left, here's Bright Diamond. The ITV crew just walking in front of us as well, but Bright Diamond for Carl Burke and Clifford Lee. Big price here.
Yeah, big task. A very good run last year in the Fillies Mile, went third. Not as good, but maybe all the better for that recent run at Lingfield. Still has to prove that the trip it will be suitable for her, I doubt it.
Number 7 behind, we'll stick with her, and I wonder if we end up making our way over to the far side of the paddock with her as well, will just afford us a little bit more room. Number 7 is Red Riding Hood. She's a Justified filly. Will she stay is the question mark.
That is the question, and we're learning about Justify. Its first crop of 3-year-olds as to go forward. The ground definitely will not be an issue. She's likely pace angle one would expect in a race. She's well taking everything in her stride, and she's looks very well. Stronger type than her stable companion, perhaps.
Yeah, she is. Drop back 2 horses to the filly on her second start, Mum and Joan. They've done it before with the Cedar Stars in the Derby with a novice finishing in the places. Can they do it with Mum and June here? Kevin Stott, Richard Hannon.
It'll be a huge shock. Contrasting ground here today may well see further improvement, but a big ask at this stage of her career. I couldn't see it at this point in time.
Yeah, it is a huge ask, isn't it? We're going to spin round to our right if we can and pick up horse number 3. That's Carnarvon, who's just over the far side. Another one with a red hood on for Jack Shannon, Connor Beasley. Big runner for Jack Shannon this season in a classic.
Yeah, and distance going to be a big question mark for me, Tom. Very, very effective at shorter trips, and ran very well in the Guineas last time, keeping on well, but put another half mile on her, being by Cityscape, given her run style. I think she go a mile and a quarter, not definitely think a mile and a half would stretch her.
She's a lighter frame filly than some of them that we've seen, and agree on the distance. Whether or not she'll stay is a big question mark, but we'll see. We've got Bright Diamond, Red Riding Hood in front of us. We'll just afford ourselves another look at Save the Last Dance. Now she's moving around. That's number 9 as we wait for 3 fillies we owe you, the likes of Running Lion. We haven't seen Sea of Roses, haven't seen Soul Sister yet either. I hope we will do shortly. We'll see both the Gosling fillies, but number 9 in front of us here. This is Save the Last Dance. And, I mean, if she can replicate what she did at Chester on quicker ground, goodness me, she'll take some stopping. Yeah,
it's interesting to see the saddle position. It's well forward on the withers. It's kind of half sitting up. When Ryan Moore gets back into the saddle, it should sit back down, and she's taking everything in her stride, Tom.
And looking round to my left, I can't see the other fillies even in being saddled here. So I tell you what, I wonder if we can hear from Charlie Appleby on Eternal Hope, and then we might be afforded the chance to pick up the Gosling fillies when you rejoin us.
Charlie Appleby trains Eternal Hope, who runs in the BetfredOaks, who you supplemented, so clearly she must have been very much pleasing you since Lingfield.
Yeah, she's pleased us since Lingfield, and to be fair, I felt that she bought a ticket into the race on what she achieved at Lingfield. You know, she's a light filly, but she's a good moving filly and well balanced, and she showed that at Lingfield. And what I was pleased, watching the race, was the way she travelled through the race. And it's one thing, as we know around here, you've got to be able to travel. So hopefully that's going to be, a positive for her at the top of the hill. She can come down there, half sensibly. Then, once they level out, we're in no man's land. And I said to William, ride her positively, and hopefully we'll get a nice pitch from that draw, and we'll see where we are.
And turf-wise, this is her first go on turf, isn't it?
It is, but she's done plenty of work at home on the turf there, so quite confident that shouldn't be any inconvenience, should we say, hopefully.
And a mile and a half on turf as compared to a mile and a half on all weather does tend to test stamina a bit more. Are you confident with that element as well?
Well, the way that the track's obviously riding today, that it's quick out there today. So needless to say, that's I was pleased for her. Obviously, not so pleased for Hurricane there earlier, but for her sake, seeing the mile and a half out on this drying ground will certainly, hopefully, help her cause, should we say.
You segue into my question about Hurricane Lane. Is it the ground that you felt was just a shade too quick for him in the Coronation Cup?
Yes, look, it's just unfortunate. We know it's a tricky time of the year. It's been a tricky spring for everyone. All these clerks are having to do, and everyone does their best. But unfortunately, it was just it got away there today, and it was too quick for him anyway. And he didn't let himself down, and we sort of. And once they came out the gate, I just felt it wasn't the same Hurricane that we saw jump straight into the bridle at Newmarket there on that with that ease in the ground. But as we know, unfortunately, he's only got the summer ahead of him, so it's just going to be probably quick ground that we're going to not encounter, because we'll just have to wait now and wait until the autumn until we get our ground again.
Well, you never know. It is a British summer. I wish you luck for the Oaks.
Thanks ever so much, Lydia.
Thank you. Cheers.